Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marcy. Thank you for clicking on that thumbnail. Always showing up, showing your girl some love. We're going to talk about some tea scents. And it is fall, and we all know that we want something cozy, just something enveloping, but just comforting as well. We turn on that heater, or, we want to smell good in the car when it's nice and warm and cozy. Have on that sweater. Sweater weather is starting very soon. It's still a bit sunny here in California, but I'm wearing a sweater at night. Anyway, please continue to like, watch, comment, subscribe, turn on those notification bells, all that good stuff, y'all, and let's get started. Towards the end of this video, if you make it, please put down like the matcha tea emoji or a tea emoji in the comments, and let me know what your favorite tea fragrance is for the fall or just anytime. There's one tea fragrance that's on my list, and I've been wanting it for years and I haven't gotten it, and I thought about it the other day, and it's by Jovoy. I cannot remember the name of it. Remind me out down in the comments, but it's more of like I think it's like a black tea and vanilla, I think, but I want that tea fragrance by Jovoy, and I've always had like a 10 ml travel of it, and I think I halfway used it, but I want that fragrance. I have Fire at Will, which is a beautiful vanilla, but it doesn't give that tea vibe. Anyway, the very first one we're going to talk about is more of a matcha vanilla tea, and this is Happy Dust. I just sprayed it on my hand here. So it's more of a powdery, it's giving me like a fruity vibe as well, but it's also giving me like a powdery matcha vanilla vibe, and it's beautiful. So if you love matcha tea with loads of vanilla, definitely try Happy Dust. Now, when I initially sprayed Happy Dust, I wasn't impressed. And then I had a sample that I let for about 6 months, and then I went back and sprayed it because I just randomly took it on a trip, and the vanilla in there had gotten stronger. The matcha had gotten a little thicker, a little earthier. There's a fruity vibe in here as well. It almost gives me like almost like a peachy apricot and vanilla with the matcha tea. But it's creamy, it's rich, and it's loads of vanilla. Get your nose on Happy Dust. When I went back to spray that sample, you guys, I fell right in love on the streets of Hawaii, and I did like a brief story about it. But it's definitely giving a gorgeous, deep, rich vanilla and matcha tea vibe. So get your nose on Happy Dust. It's pretty sweet too and potent. So where can I sit this, y'all? Before it falls. So the next one we're going to talk about, hopefully it doesn't fall. I'll just sit it right back where I got it from. So the next one we're going to talk about is one by Bozo. Actually, we're not going to talk about that one. Cancel that, y'all, because we're going to talk about that one in relations to another fragrance. So the next one that's giving a tea vibe or does have tea inside, I think it's mate, and there's also a green tea in here, and this is actually a inspiration of another fragrance or a dupe, whatever you want to call it. And the reason why I did this is because I recently saw that LV, they have replicated or copied the Ghana Must Go bags, and I did a reel on Instagram, and I'll post it over here. But the Ghana Must Go bags are bags that were made when the people of Ghana that were immigrants, they migrated to Nigeria. They stuffed all of their stuff in this big bag because the government made them leave the country. So they call them the Ghana Must Go bags. It just reminds you of a struggle. So of immigration, of deportation, of, just of trauma. And the LV with those big blue, white, and red bags have put their symbols on them. And they have literally made them a designer bag, and they're on the market for $800 to $3,000, which is very sad because there's a lot of trauma behind that bag. So I was like, you know what? I was about to talk about tea scents anyway. So let me talk about some tea scents that remind me of imagination. Since LV want to play games and replicate bags, we're going to replicate and talk about what other people have replicated by LV. So anyway, Orientica. All that being said, Orientica, Azure Fantasy is a better version of imagination. When I tell you this is potent ginger, tea, citruses, mandarin, some fresh woods, this, if you want imagination without the price tag, you guys, and so much better, okay, than the actual LV Imagination, then get your nose on Azure Fantasy, and it's $60, okay? When I tell you, you don't ever have to worry about me buying Imagination, because this is the most amazing. I know there are a lot of fragrances out there that say they are better than Imagination, but this LV fragrance right here, Orientica Azure Fantasy, is the best one that I've ever smelled, okay? So get your nose on this. Super affordable, but it's definitely amped up. It's more luxurious. It's a bit more gingery. It's giving me the ginger that I needed. Anyway, when I initially smelled this, it was so potent, but now it's settled, you know, it's a bit smoother, it's citrusy, it's zingy, it's gingery, it's fresh, woody, it's aquatic, it's juicy, it's all of that. Azure Fantasy, if you wanted to try Imagination, it's better, so get this one. If you, like I said, it's, even if you wanted to try it, it's more affordable at $60 than actually even buying a sample of it. So get your nose on this one. I'm absolutely obsessed with Azure Fantasy. You can wear this a year around, buy for your husband, yourself. This is 365. This is signature scent worthy. There's this guy that walks into my job that wears this scent all of the time, and every time he wears it, I'm just like, who smells so good? So anyway, get your nose on Azure Fantasy. The next fragrance is by one of my favorite fragrance houses, Adamo, and this is Uluwatu. So Uluwatu is their latest from the collection, from the Costiera collection. Now this is giving you, there's definitely a matcha tea vibe as well, but it's also giving you some beautiful white florals. So if you like that Lily of the Valley matcha tea, it's a little earthy, it's a little herbaceous green, it's a little sweetened as well, then get your nose on Uluwatu. Yeah, it's definitely giving a more elevated floral matcha tea vibe, and I absolutely love it. So Uluwatu by Adamo Perfumes, get your nose on it. Now, one of my favorite teas many years ago was Annamkara by Dusita. Now, this is giving more of a sweet, I don't know, there's something in Annamkara that gives me more of a sweet, fruity, like honeyed. There may be like some bubblegummy tuberose or some iris. It's woody, but it's definitely giving you a sweet, fruity, vanillic vibe, and I absolutely love Annamkara. It's giving that earthy tea vibe as well, but like I said, I'm getting like a powdered bubblegummy tuberose tea vibe with some fruits. It's sweet, it's airy, it's fresh, and maybe there's a bit of iris in here as well. So it's beautiful, but it's woody as well. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's a sophisticated tea fragrance, you guys. So get your nose on Annamkara by Dusita. The next one we're going to talk about, and I wore this this week to work, and somebody told me that I smell like coconuts. I was like, oh, this doesn't really smell like coconuts to me, but okay. This is Unknown Pleasures. This is still my favorite gourmand in my entire collection, you guys. I don't know if it's the attachment to it, because I've had it for the past 5 years. It's just absolutely delicious and gorgeous. So this smells like, it smells like an Earl Grey tea, a warm Earl Grey tea with a side of dense lemon pound cake with a tart icing with caramel drizzle. This is the most decadent, rich tea fragrance that you will probably ever get your nose on. This is the tea fragrance that you can wear all year long. It's exceptional. It's a beast, but you can definitely wear this in the fall and the winter because the strength, it's not a screechy citrus. It's a warm, almost a custardy-like lemon with pound cake, you guys. Anyway, get your nose on this Unknown Pleasures, blind buy it, okay, by the House of Kerosene. I'm not even sure if Kerosene still has their site up. I think they do. I always said that I would buy a backup bottle of this, but I haven't. But I got about like 75% left. But Unknown Pleasures, you don't need a lot. It's a beast. Get your nose on it. I thought this is what Lyra would smell like because I bought Lyra prior to this, and then I saw this one and I bought it, and I was like, you know what, this is what Lyra should have been, but I love Lyra just the same. Anyway, we're going to talk about like some of my fall gourmands very soon, but this will definitely be in one of them. Gourmand and comforting. So when we talk about tea and layering as well, We also talked about the Imagination dupe. I want to say that Brown Sugar Babes has a dupe for Imagination as well, and it's an oil, and I love layering with it. I layered by Bozo's Sea Breeze, and this is giving like Imagination with a rounded edge. It doesn't have tea inside, but it definitely has like some beautiful citrus, some aquatic notes, some spices. But when I layered these two together all summer long, you guys look at the dent. I wore this almost for 2 months straight, and I took it to Hawaii, and y'all, I was in love. But by Bozo Sea Breeze, you can get this for a fairly better price than Imagination. This one, $60, Brown Sugar Babes, and this is Fantasy. Smells just like Imagination, and I'm always getting so many compliments on this when I wear it alone as well. A bit of a dent, but I layered these two together, Sea Breeze and Fantasy, and y'all, the compliments I get with this layer is just amazing. It's refreshing. It's, you know, just mentally stimulating. It's beautiful. So this is also giving Imagination's tea vibes as well, but just with more of a rounded edge. It's not so heavy on the ginger, and it's not so zingy and citrusy and woody, but it's more of a feminine more of a feminine Imagination, if you will. Okay. Anyway, that's the only way that I could describe it. It's Imagination, but it's smoother. Okay. So the next one we're going to talk about gives also vibes of Imagination as well. And to me, this gives Imagination with a bit of a mandarin or citrus. These two, they smell just alike. And this smells like LV's Imagination as well. But you are giving a bit more of a punch with a red tea than a green tea or a mate, and a beautiful citrus. But it's giving more of a citrus orange with Imagination, and I absolutely love it. This is Memo Paris's Winter Palace, and this at one point was my favorite Memo Paris fragrance. I actually had this on Macari because I forgot what it smelled like, and I hadn't worn it in a while. When I took this down off Macari, I took it down off Macari like fast. Some odd reason, I just decided to go to my Macari. Oh, you guys, I reposted some things on Macari. I did a huge declutter over there. I didn't do a declutter over here on YouTube, but I did a declutter on Macari. So I listed about 30 fragrances over on Macari. So go check it out, okay? And I listed them for a price. You guys, when I list stuff on Macari, I literally do my research before I do it. So to try to be competitive, and I always go underneath. But people on Macari be trying to just literally like rip you off, okay? And I'm like, no, thank you. Sometimes I'd rather give it away than to just like, you know, to be disrespected, y'all. Anyway, Winter Palace Memo Paris definitely gives you those vibes of Imagination. I would say like 90% on top of a beautiful like orange zesty citrus as well. So get your nose on Memo Paris, and I took it off ASAP, okay? I was going through some fragrances and relisting, and I smelled this, and I was like, wait a minute, this is definitely giving vibes of Imagination. Except it's a little punchy, a little more elegant and elevated. Winter Palace, Memo Paris. The next one we're going to talk about, two more, is Chris Collins's African Rooibos. African Rooibos is Rooibos tea. That's like a tongue twister. It's definitely giving you vibes of that zingy, zesty, gingery Imagination as well. But this has some spicy Rooibos tea inside. These two, in my humble opinion, these three fragrances all smell very, very similar. African Rooibos, Winter Palace, Memo Paris, and Orientica's Azure Fantasy. Azure Fantasy is a little more fresh and gingery and airy. And these two are giving you a rich red tea vibe on top of that gingery, spicy, earthy tea note. This one I believe has iris in it, so it calms down a bit in the dry down, and it gives you a beautiful slightly powdered Rooibos tea on top of that spiciness as well. But these two are absolutely stunning tea fragrances that you must try. Chris Collins is African Rooibos, and like I said, Memo Paris Winter Palace. Last but not least is a tea fragrance that I absolutely love, and I know a lot of people didn't like this fragrance when it came out. But I love it, and this is Blue Madeleine. Now, this definitely gives you that black earthy tea, black dry tea. There's a bit of a rose in here, and I pick up the rose as well slightly, but it's supposed to smell like Madeleines and tea, and to me, it's definitely giving me that cookie-like bready vibe, that sweet vanilla cookie-like bready vibe, along with some dry black tea leaves and a little bit of rose, and I absolutely love it. It gets a bit creamy as well, and I pick up a slight, I think it's like a milky or cream vibe in here as well. But I absolutely love Blue Madeleine by Atelier des Ors. And I love the bottle as well too, you guys. Let me just smell this real quick again. But it's absolutely stunning. I love it. Get your nose on it, Blue Madeleine. If you are a tea girly, that is all, you guys. Get your nose on some of these fragrances. And like I said, the disrespect that LV has put out there, it's just unbelievable. It's like culturally inappropriate, you know, and it's insensitive. And they should shut it down and take it down. Like, take it off, or at least give all the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds to Ghana. Anyway, because that's what this bag was all about. But anyway, get your nose on these imagination alternatives that I absolutely love and that are better than the imagination. And some of these came out even before that fragrance. Anyway, love you guys. Go on to the world, spread amazing tea. Do good, be good. And like I said, leave me the matcha tea, or even if you don't drink tea, leave a coffee cup down there as well, you guys. All right, love you. Bye.